Part 25. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 241. The blood-red mist spread rapidly along the sun and moon peak. Soon, the demon sect cultivators who were still angry and noisy because of the illusion also discovered the blood-red mist. Suddenly, a feeling called fear quickly overwhelmed the anger and spread throughout the entire demon spirit platform in an instant. Lin Su didn't know what the blood-red mist meant, but the cultivators of the demon sect knew it clearly. This was the evil spirit emitted by the blood pagoda formation. Lord Saint actually activated the blood pagoda formation. It's over, we are dead now. Damn righteous cultivators. Damn the 5 major immortal gates. Grandpa will not let you go even if he becomes a ghost. Be a fart ghost. Those who were sacrificed by the blood pagoda formation were annihilated. How can they have a chance to become ghosts? Originally, even if the blood pagoda formation was activated, as long as the sacrifices were sufficient, the demon sect cultivators would not suffer too much loss, but who would have thought that the cultivators of the 5 major immortal gates were actually illusions, and only Lin Su really came to the door. Who is Lin Su? That was a super expert who could rival the demon lord Len Wuking. Although the blood pagoda formation was powerful, it would not be able to do anything to Lin Su before it received enough sacrifices to exert its full power. The cultivators of the demon sect were very familiar with the blood pagoda formation. Once it was activated, it would not stop unless it absorbed enough blood and flesh sacrifices. Lin Su could withstand the erosion of the evil spirit, but the cultivators of the demon sect who were at most at the late stage of the Jindan stage could not. Although the cultivators of the demon sect knew a way to avoid being harmed by the blood pagoda formation, it was only useful after the formation absorbed enough sacrifices and its power was fully stimulated. In the initial stage of absorbing blood and flesh sacrifices, the formation did not distinguish between enemies and friends. As long as it was covered by evil spirits, it would be eroded. As for the current situation, when the blood pagoda formation absorbed enough blood and flesh sacrifices, I am afraid that there would not be many cultivators of the demon sect left on the sun and moon peak. Damn it, I was fooled. It must be the illusion of that old ghost Xianxia. Outside the main hall at the top of Sun and Moon Peak, Demon Lord Len Wuking also saw the scene of the illusion being eliminated. His face suddenly changed, and veins on his forehead were bulging. It was obvious that he was extremely angry. He took great pains to lead the people of the 5 major immortal sects to the main hall of Sun and Moon Peak in order to launch the blood pagoda formation to catch them all in one fell swoop. Who would have thought that he would actually shoot himself in the foot and lose the disciples of the demon sect? It was at that time, the problem occurred when we stopped that time. Len Wuking suddenly remembered that when his subordinates reported the progress of the 5 major immortal sects, they mentioned that the 5 major immortal sects had stopped for a while and then continued on their way. Now it must be at that time that the ancestor Xianxia used an illusion to hide the traces of the monks of the 5 major immortal sects, and then Lin Su came to Sun and Moon Peak alone with the illusions of the 5 major immortal sects. The funny thing is that I didn't send my disciples to lure them after that, otherwise I would have realized that this was the other party's conspiracy early on. Damn it, damn it. There is no regret medicine in the world. It's too late to say anything now. Once the blood pagoda formation is activated, even Len Wuking, the demon lord, can't stop it, at least not before it absorbs enough blood and flesh for sacrifice. Now all the cultivators of the demon sect are trapped on the Sun and Moon Peak. The restricted air area of the Sun and Moon Peak has become a death warrant for the cultivators of the demon section unless they use the teleportation array in the hall. They can't leave the Sun and Moon Peak at all. However, the teleportation array has limited capacity and can only teleport 2 people at a time. If you want to transfer all the disciples of the demon sect on the Sun and Moon Peak with the teleportation array, it will take at least 2 hours, and the evil spirit of the blood pagoda formation will spread to the hall on the top of the peak for no more than 1 hour. After all, more than half of the disciples of the demon sect will not be able to escape in time. Losing more than half of the disciples at once is absolutely an unbearable pain for the demon sect, and once they leave the Sun and Moon Peak, the geographical advantage will be gone. However, the current situation does not allow Lin Wuking to hesitate any longer. Losing half of the strength is better than being wiped out, right? Lin Su, I will remember you. This matter is not over. Sooner or later, I will get back today's humiliation with interest. Only Lin Su came to the Sun and Moon Peak. Even if a fool uses his toes to think, he knows that this strategy was proposed by Lin Su. Lin Wuking has never hated a person so much, and he wants to cut the other party into pieces and eat his skin. However, Lin Wuking knows that now is definitely not the time to vent his anger. This time, he has to take this loss and can only wait for an opportunity to get it back in the future. All disciples above the Jindan stage, all withdraw to the Peak Hall. If you don't make a decision, you will suffer the consequences. The blood-red evil spirit was about to spread to the demon spirit platform. Lin Su's speed was not slow, and he was basically synchronized with the evil spirit. If he delayed any longer, I'm afraid that there would be no demon sect cultivators left on the demon spirit platform. At this time, there must be some choices. The disciples below the Jindan stage can only be abandoned. As long as the elite forces are preserved, even if they lie dormant for another 1,000 years, the demon sect will still have a chance to make a comeback. After the demon lord Lin Wuking's order, the entire demon spirit platform suddenly became agitated. The faces of the demon sect cultivators above the Jindan stage were full of ecstasy of escaping death. To be honest, they had wanted to escape from the demon spirit platform for a long time, but without the order of the demon lord Lin Wuking, anyone who dared to escape without authorization would definitely end up worse than death. The disciples whose cultivation level was below the Jindan stage were full of despair, and they collapsed on the ground like ashes. They knew that they had been ruthlessly abandoned by the Saint Lord. In the blink of an eye, all the demon sect cultivators above the Jindan stage ran away, and only some cannon fodders in the foundation building stage and the Chi training stage were left on the demon spirit platform. When Lin Su jumped onto the platform, these low-level demon sect disciples didn't even look at him. What's going on? Why are there only low-level disciples? Lin Su was stunned when he saw the situation on the demon spirit platform. When he looked from the air just now, there were far more than so many demon sect cultivators on this large platform. Where are the others from your demon sect? Lin Su grabbed the collar of a demon sect disciple in the early stage of foundation building and asked. The captured demon sect disciple glanced at Lin Su with empty eyes, laughed miserably, and said nothing. What's going on? After asking several demon sect disciples in succession, they all looked decadent and waiting to die. Lin Su couldn't help but be very confused. At this time, the evil spirit emitted by the blood pagoda array also spread to the demon spirit platform. He saw the low-level demon sect cultivators shrouded in blood-red mist wailing in pain, and their flesh and blood began to melt bit by bit. In less than a moment, hundreds of people had turned into part of the blood mist. This blood mist is so powerful. When Lin Su was shrouded in blood-red mist before, although he felt the corrosive power in it, he didn't care too much, because this level of corrosive power was not enough to threaten him. But after swallowing hundreds of low-level demon sect cultivators, the blood mist seemed to have some changes. Not only did the color become thicker, but the corrosive power increased greatly. Even Lin Su had to hold up the Dragon Yuan shield to resist. Without time to think about it, Lin Su grabbed a demon sect cultivator in the late stage of foundation building, fled from the demon spirit platform like a fly, and ran towards the top of Sun and Moon Peak. Tell me the truth, what is that bloody mist? Where did the rest of your demon sect go? While running up the mountain path, Lin Su shook the demon sect monk in his hand and asked. Tell me the truth. If I tell, won't I die? Since I'm going to die, why should I tell? The voice was crisp and pleasant. Lin Su took a closer look and found that this demon sect monk was actually a woman, and she was pretty. Ahem. Who said I want to kill you? I, Lin Su, never attack women, Lin Su lied with his eyes open. Many of the missions he took on in the Chaos Star Sea were female demons who killed people like crazy. Even if you don't kill me, I can't escape the Blood Pagoda formation. Won't I still die in the end? The female monk smiled miserably. Blood Pagoda formation? What the hell? Tell me in detail, tell me everything you know, I can consider saving your life. Lin Su's heart trembled, and he vaguely felt that this bloody mist didn't seem that simple. Will you really save me? The female monk's face suddenly brightened. Who would want to die if they could live? It was not easy for her to cultivate to the late stage of foundation building, and she was also thinking about forming a golden elixir and living freely for hundreds of years. As long as you tell the truth, it is not difficult to save your life. A trace of doubt flashed across the face of the female monk. She did not doubt whether Lin Su would keep his promise, because even if she did not say it, the other party could search her soul. Since the other party said that he would save her, he should not break his promise. What she was worried about was whether Lin Su had the ability to do so. You must know that this is the Sun and Moon Peak, which belongs to the Forbidden Air area. There is no way to escape except for the teleportation array in the hall on the top of the peak. Where does the other party get the confidence to save her? Have you thought about it? If you don't agree, don't blame me for being cruel. Lin Su was a little impatient. I agree. The female monk gritted her teeth and told everything she knew. Hiss. Lin Su couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. The demon lord Len Wuking was worthy of his name, so cruel. At the same time, he secretly rejoiced in his heart. Fortunately, he felt something was wrong and persuaded the righteous monks of the 5 major immortal sects to stop and did not follow him to the Sun and Moon Peak. Otherwise, they would not be wiped out by Len Wuking's Blood Pagoda formation. But Len Wuking suffered a big loss this time. He was confident in setting up an ambush, but ended up burying himself in it. This old demon must be angry now, right? You said Len Wuking would escape from the teleportation array on the top of the peak. Are you sure? Len Wuking called all the demon sect monks above the Jindan stage to the top of the Sun and Moon Peak, and threw a group of low-level monks. Even a fool knew that this was a heroic move to prepare for evacuation. The female monk nodded affirmatively. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 242. Now that he knew Len Wuking's plan, how could Lin Su let him transfer all the elites of the demon sect so comfortably? When we get to the peak later, I will throw you to the ground, and you just lie down and pretend to be dead and don't move. I will take you away from Sun Moon Peak after I take care of Len Wu. Do you understand? Then you have to be gentle and don't hurt me. He has seen people who are afraid of death, but Lin Su has never seen anyone who is as afraid of death and pain as Li Yanran. I really don't know how he would choose to join the demon sect with a personality like this. Lin Su shook his head speechlessly and sped up towards the top of the mountain. Because he learned about the situation from Li Yanran, Lin Su didn't stop at all along the way, but climbed to the top of Sun Moon Peak in just one stick of incense. Lin Su. Seeing Lin Su leaping to the platform on the top of the mountain, Dongfang Yu, who was standing at the entrance of the hall organizing the evacuation of the demon sect's elite, couldn't help but change his face. He didn't expect Lin Su to come so quickly. Dongfang Yu had suffered at the hands of Lin Su and knew that she was definitely no match for Lin Su. Moreover, she heard that even Lord Shenjun had suffered at the hands of Lin Su. So when she saw Lin Su, Dongfang Yu instinctively looked like escape. Aha! A figure jumped out of the hall. It was Demon Lord Len Wu. Looking at Lin Su with a lazy smile on his face, the anger in Len Qingyu's heart began to rise. Lin Su, you are so brave. You dare to charge up to our Sun Moon Peak alone. Do you really think that our demon sect has no one? Is there anyone in your demon sect? Where are they? Why didn't I see them? Lin Su shook his hand and threw Li Yanran in his hand to the edge of the platform. This move seemed extremely heavy, but Lin Su had long forgotten that Li Yanran had a dragon essence injected into her body, which was enough to protect her from harm. Li Yanran, although it seemed that he was thrown to the ground hard, he did not suffer any trauma. He rolled a few times and lay down and pretended to be dead according to Lin Su's instructions. Good boy, you are so crazy. It's a pity that you are too stupid to dare to rush to our Sun Moon Peak alone. Are you really not afraid of death? From Len Wuqing's point of view, although Lin Su was powerful, he was only the same as him. Naturally, he couldn't do anything to Lin Su one-on-one, but now he was in the territory of his demon sect, and he had Dongfang Yu and others in the early stages of nascent soul beside him. The three great Dao lords, how could they not control Lin Su alone if they join forces? Afraid? Of course I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm too late, and I'm afraid you'll run too fast. Lin Su laughed, his words full of arrogance and contempt for Leng Wu. Leng Qingguo was speechless for a moment. They were indeed running away now, but not because of Lin Su, but because of the blood pagoda formation. However, the reason could not be stated clearly, otherwise wouldn't they be laughed to death? He dug a hole to bury someone, but ended up burying himself in it. If word spread about this, wouldn't it become a big joke that the demon lord was ruthless? What, are you speechless? Well, don't say that I didn't give you a chance. As long as you swear that the demon sect and the 5 immortal sects will live in peace from now on and will not take the initiative to provoke war, then I will let you go today. How about it? Lin Su said with a solemn expression. Lin Su, are you kidding me? How dare you say that you are letting me go? What a shameless statement. As if he had heard some funny joke, Leng Wu burst out laughing, but there was a cold murderous intent in this laughter. It's over, it's over. I thought I could escape and ascend to heaven, but now it's over. Is this Lin really a master on par with Lord Shenzhen? How could he be so stupid? This is simply seeking death. If I die, what will I do? Li Yanran, who was lying on the ground pretending to be dead, secretly wailed in her heart. In her opinion, Lin Su was simply a fool. Not only did he rush to Sun Moon Peak alone, but he dared to say such death-seeking words to Demon Lord Leng Wu. It was simply disgusting. Long life. No matter what, he would just pretend to be dead until the end. When this idiot named Lin was dealt with by the Holy Lord and everyone was gone, he would get up and take the opportunity to sneak out through the portal. So it seems that you don't accept my suggestion. Lin Su looked at Leng Wu with aggrieved eyes as if he didn't know what to do. Accept it, sir. Leng Wuqing glared at Lin Su. He had seen shameless people, but never such shameless ones. When someone knocks on someone's door and asks them to surrender and compromise, if they don't agree, it seems like they have made some unforgivable mistake. I have seen a lot of righteous people who are ruthless, but I have never seen anyone like Lin Su. Looks like I still have to rely on my fists to do the talking. Lin Su sighed and said, I am a peace-loving person. I don't like fighting and killing. Unfortunately, there is no other way. It seems that I still have to use my fists to solve the problem. Peace-loving. I like your sister. Leng Wuqing's lungs were about to burst with anger. A man who killed thousands of demon sect's disciples in one move still loves peace? If you love peace, then you will be a saint. Leng Qingqing was about to say something in reply when he saw a dark figure already in front of him, but it was Lin Su who had already punched him. Despicable, Leng Wu was completely angry. What kind of person is this? A surprise attack was so despicable. Boom. Although he reached out to block Lin Su's fist in time, Leng Wu was still knocked backwards. Compared with his physical strength, he was really far behind Lin Su. Lin Su didn't think he did anything wrong. They were enemies, and it was a life and death relationship. Should I tell you before I attack? Besides, you all plan to win by numbers, so why should I be polite to you? Beat him up first. Protect the Saint Lord. Lin Su was just about to take advantage of the victory and take down Len Wuking in one go when he was caught off guard by him, but he heard a roar from the side, and then a huge black skull bit towards his left rear, and at the same time a black shadow attacked his lower body along the ground. The two Dao lords under the demon lord Len Wuking, Ximen Haoshan and Zusheng, attacked. They had never fought with Lin Su and had no fear. When they saw Len Wuking was at a disadvantage, they immediately joined forces to attack. Dongfang Yu hesitated for a moment. He had seen Lin Su's cruelty and knew that Lin Su's strength was even stronger than that of the demon lord Len Wuking. If he acted rashly, he would probably suffer a great loss. Want to win by numbers? Humph! With a cold snort, Lin Su turned around and punched the huge black skull. A golden green light flashed on his fist, and the black skull that originally looked powerful was smashed into powder by this simple punch. At the same time, a 5-element spirit sword flew out from Lin Su's Dantian and shot towards Zusheng, who was attacking him in the bottom lane. With a bang, Zusheng was blown back and turned several times before he stabilized his body on the edge of the cliff. He was almost blown off the cliff, and a few cracks appeared on the black longsword in his right hand. How is it possible? Ximen Haoshan and Zusheng looked at Lin Su in amazement. Ximen Haoshan was surprised that his ultimate move Soul Devouring was broken by Lin Su with just one punch. You know, even the Saint Lord would not dare to take this move like this. Zusheng's shock was no less than Ximen Haoshan's. The black long sword in his right hand was a low-grade spiritual weapon, indestructible, but it was cracked by Lin Su's flying sword, and suffered considerable damage. His blood was surging, while Lin Su's 5-element spiritual sword was not damaged at all. The gap was really too big, right? Fortunately, I didn't act impulsively just now, otherwise I would have suffered the loss. Dongfang Yu, who was watching this scene, secretly rejoiced in her heart, but did not show it on her face. Instead, she shouted at Lin Su, "Lin Su, this is the headquarters of my demon sect, not a place for you to run wild." "Oh? It's you. I remember your name seems to be Dongfang Yu, right? What's the matter? You didn't beat me up thoroughly last time, and you want to be beaten again." Lin Su glanced at Dongfang Yu and sneered. Dongfang Yu was furious, but she didn't dare to take action. Her charming face was flushed with anger. Dongfang Yu didn't dare to attack. Ximen Haoshan and Zusheng also looked at Lin Su with fear. For a moment, the platform fell into a strange silence. "Old demon Len, how long do you want to hide in the hall?" Lin Su suddenly frowned and shouted coldly into the hall, "Do you want to delay time for the disciples of the demon sect to retreat? Or are you afraid to fight me?" As soon as Lin Su finished speaking, Len Wuking walked out of the hall with a gloomy face. His expression was embarrassed with a hint of anger. Len Wuking was indeed delaying time just now. Lin Su's fighting power was indeed very strong, but it was not to the extent that he could be injured by a random punch. It was just that the power of the punch just now really surprised Len Wuking, because the power contained in it was much greater than when the two fought before. "It's been a while since we last met, how come this kid has become so much stronger? Did he really rush from Dandingmen to Jianshenzong in one day last time? Because of the huge loss of strength, he tied with me? Doesn't that mean that Lin Su is much stronger than me in normal state?" Len Wuking looked at Lin Su with a gloomy look on his face. After he retreated from the Sword God sect to the main hall, he heard Dongfang Yu talk about Lin Su's affairs in Danding sect, but at that time he just listened to it as a joke, thinking that Dongfang Yu was looking for an excuse for his failure. After all, crossing a distance of more than 100,000 miles in one day is impossible for a Yuanying stage cultivator, not to mention a legendary Huashan stage cultivator. But now Len Wuking believes it a little. Dongfang Yu is probably telling the truth. If this is true, then Lin Su's strength must be re-evaluated. No wonder this guy dared to rush to the Sun and Moon Peak alone. It seems that he is very confident in his strength. Damn it! Why is such a perverted guy a disciple of the Sword God sect? Why didn't he appear in our demon sect? It seems like you really want to delay time. In that case, I will destroy the teleportation array first. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 243. Seeing Lin Su suddenly bypassing him and rushing into the hall, Demon Lord Len Qingguo, who was waiting for him, was stunned for a moment, and then his face suddenly changed. If Lin Su really destroyed the teleportation circle, he and the others would be trapped to death. It's time to go to Sun Moon Peak. There are currently less than 100 elite demon sects who have been transferred through the teleportation array. If the remaining people are sacrificed by the Blood Pagoda array, the power of the array will definitely become terrifying. Although it will not reach its full state, I'm afraid it's hard for me to resist it. No, we must not let this kid Lin Su destroy the teleportation circle. Lin Su, don't run away if you have the guts to fight me for another 300 rounds. Lin Su ignored Len Wuru's shouting. After entering the hall, he rushed towards the teleportation circle without even looking at the elite demon sects in the hall. As long as the teleportation circle was destroyed, these guys would become turtles in the jar. Are you afraid that they will be able to grow wings and fly? Stop him, we must not let him destroy the teleportation circle. Seeing that Lin Su ignored him at all, Len Wuyu yelled anxiously. Stop him, don't let him destroy the teleportation circle. Let's all take action together and kill him. If the teleportation array is destroyed, we will all die. We must stop him. Those who can cultivate to the stage of forming pills are not stupid people. They reacted immediately after hearing Len Qingguo's words. Now that the Blood Pagoda formation has been activated, if the teleportation formation is destroyed and cannot leave Sun Moon Peak, it will definitely be a life and death situation. People in the demon sect know Lin Su's profound cultivation and superb combat power, but so what? Dying in Lin Su's hands was death, being destroyed by Lin Su's teleportation circle was also death, and the death was horrific. In this case, what was there to be afraid of? Hundreds of masters in the Dan formation stage rushed forward without fear of death, and all kinds of magic weapons were thrown at him desperately. Lin Su couldn't help but be frightened. There were so many ants that killed the elephant, not to mention that these elites of the demon sect were not ants. The monks in the pill-forming stage can be regarded as experts in the world of immortality. Among the small and medium-sized immortal sects, they are among the first-class elders. Even Lin Su had to avoid the sharp attack at the same time. Apparition. Lin Su disappeared in a flash. Countless attacks instantly overwhelmed his position, and the entire hall was shaken violently. Fortunately, this is the main hall of the demon sect's main altar, and the formation protection is extremely strong, otherwise if so, the whole hall might collapse at this moment. Dian 5 Elements Sword Formation, strangle me. Lin Su showed his figure a few feet away. He saw that the teleportation circle was tightly protected by a group of demon sect elites, and it was still flashing brightly. It was obvious that the demon sect elites were still leaving through the teleportation circle, and he couldn't help but feel his face darkened. He summoned the 5 Elements spiritual sword to form the Dian 5 Elements sword formation and strangled the elites of the demon sect. Cut the weeds without eradicating the roots, but they will grow again when the spring breeze blows. The demon sect was also severely defeated back then. It was because the 5 major immortal sects did not take ruthless measures to clean up the remaining evil that the demon sect came back after dormant for thousands of years and almost completely destroyed the righteous path. As a lesson learned from the past, Lin Su does not want to make the same mistake again. If he can kill more elites of the demon sect, he can reduce the strength of the demon section. Even if it cannot be completely eliminated, he can let it dormant for a few more years, giving more to the righteous path. Development time. Asshole, stop. What's the point of bullying a junior? As soon as the Dantian 5 elements sword formation came out, it was like a meat grinding machine. The elites of the demon sect in the alchemy stage were constantly being twisted into the sword formation and strangled to death without any bones left. It was so cold and ruthless that their eyes were about to burst. These are all the elites of his demon section. If Lin Su kills them all like this, what else can the demon sect do to compete with the 5 immortal sects? Even if his demon lord is made of iron, how many nails can he drive? Dongfang Yu, Ximen Haoshan, Zuchsheng, and the Bujuling soul-destroying formation will follow me to destroy this kid. Lin Su's movement skills were too weird. He kept moving and dodging in the hall as if he was teleporting. He did not fight Leng Weivue head-on. He just controlled the Dantian 5 elements sword formation to strangle the elites of the demon section in a short time. There were already dozens of them. People died in the sword formation. If this continues, the demon sect's family fortune may be wiped out by him. Leng Wuqing no longer cared about face, he only wanted to kill Lin Su on the spot. After giving a sharp shout, he shook his hands and raised a small blue-gray flag. Dongfang Yu and the other 3 also raised 3 flags in cooperation. One after another black light was continuously injected into the 4 formation flags from the hands of the 4 people, forming a square light array in the mid-air of the hall. A harsh sound sounded, and several dark iron chains suddenly stretched out from the light array and moved towards Lin Su, as if they had locked onto Lin Su's aura. No matter how he dodged, he was chased tightly. By accident, my hands and feet were entangled. Not good. As soon as the iron chain wrapped around him, Lin Su felt that his dragon essence was greatly suppressed, and the power of his soul was even more unstable, as if it was about to be pulled out of the body along the iron chain, and he couldn't help but be shocked. Haha, Lin Su, let me see how arrogant you are now. Use all your strength, I will kill this kid alive. Seeing Lin Su being chained, Leng Qingguo was overjoyed, burst out laughing, and ordered Dongfang Yu and the others to step up the formation flags, hoping to kill Lin Su right away. Humph. You want to kill me just by relying on this broken formation? Old demon Leng, you think too highly of yourself. Although he spoke confidently, Lin Su did not dare to be careless at all. He urged Long Yuan with all his strength to resist the restraints and soul-sucking power of the iron chain. A faint stream of golden green light flashed across the surface of his body. Although he could not break free from the iron chain, he could also block the soul-sucking power of the iron chain. But under such full resistance, Lin Su no longer had any extra dragon yuan to maintain the Dantian 5 elements sword formation, and saw that the sword formation that was killing the elites of the demon sect suddenly dispersed and turned into 49 swords. The 5 elements spiritual sword penetrated into Lin Su's Dantian. How is it possible that this kid can actually withstand the soul-locking and soul-destroying formation? Although the iron chain locked Lin Su, it was unable to extract even a shred of his spiritual power. Leng Weivue couldn't help but be shocked. What kind of pervert is this kid? He can't even deal with the soul-locking and soul-destroying formation? Leng Wuqing's heart was filled with chills. This spirit-locking and soul-destroying formation was the demon sect's super-powerful killing formation. Even powerful monks in the late nascent soul stage, the great perfection realm, could not withstand the soul-destroying power of the formation if they were entangled. But Lin Su carried it, and it didn't look like it was difficult, he was just a monster. Disciples of the demon sect, obey the order and leave the teleportation circle quickly. In the flash of lightning, Leng Weivue made a decision. He originally wanted to rely on the soul-locking and soul-destroying array to kill Lin Su and extract his flesh and blood soul as a sacrifice to complete the sacrifice of the blood pagoda array. In this case, the demon sect there is no need to evacuate Sun Moon Peak. who knew that Lin Su was so perverted that he couldn't even hurt the soul-locking and soul-destroying array, so he could only temporarily trap it, and then he could only move according to the original plan. Lin Su was quite angry as he watched the demon sect elites evacuate from the teleportation circle one by one. Unfortunately, he was not strong enough to break free from the chains on his body, so he could only watch helplessly, feeling very depressed. If I were in the later stage of nascent soul, this Xianxia formation would never be able to trap me. It's a pity that the demon sect has retained its vitality. Lin Su felt a little regretful. Whether it was him or the ancestor Xiang, they would definitely go to the spirit world in 500 years. Together with Zizuer and Zhang Yunfan, most of the masters of the sword god sect would go there in one go. Even if the demon sect cannot be destroyed, it is necessary to weaken the demon sect as much as possible so that it cannot recover within 1,000 years. This seems to be impossible now. After all the calculations, he didn't expect that the demon sect actually had a formation like the soul-locking and soul-destroying formation, which could trap him. He could only watch helplessly as the demon sect's elite escaped. I was still too careless. I should have sent transmission notes to the large forces in the rear just now. It is a taboo to underestimate the enemy. Unfortunately, I have been going smoothly these days. Unknowingly, I became arrogant and took advantage of this great opportunity. I missed it in vain, hey. Lin Su regretted and sighed in his heart. Demon Lord Len Weivue was also very upset. He secretly cursed himself for underestimating the enemy and treating the people of the 5 major immortal sects as fools. He was playing clever tricks to lure the enemy deeper. This time it was good, he only lured them. Lin Su is such a murderer, and the originally impregnable base camp was turned into a dead end by the formation he activated. Hey, you underestimate the enemy, Lin Su and Len Qingguo sighed in their hearts at the same time. More than half an hour later, 70% of the surviving elite disciples of the demon sect had left, and Len Wuking and the other 4 began to show a look of exhaustion on their faces. Although this spirit-locking soul-destroying formation was powerful, it had no effect on the true essence. The loss was also huge. If Len Wuking hadn't already reached the late stage of nascent soul and shared most of the pressure for Dongfangyu and the others, they might not have been able to hold on long ago. It's not good, the hostility of the Blood Pagoda formation has spread to the top of the mountain. Just when Leng Qingqing was hesitating whether to give up the remaining 30% of the demon sect's elite and escape, suddenly a sharp cry rang out, and a figure rushed in panic from outside the hall. It was Li Li, who had been lying on the ground pretending to be dead. Yan Ran. Originally, Li Yan Ran planned to lie down and pretend to be dead until the outcome was decided. Unfortunately, the hostility of the Blood Pagoda array spread too quickly, and it had already reached the summit platform. If he lay down any longer, his fake death would become real death. Has the hostility spread to the top of the mountain? No, we can't delay any longer. Leng Qingqing's face changed, and he made a decision in an instant. He sent a message to Dongfangyu and the others, the anger is rising. We can't delay it any longer. All the disciples who haven't left should give up. I'll stop Lin Su later. You guys, 3 go first. Lord, Holy Lord, it's better for us to stop this kid. You should retreat first. Stop talking nonsense, this is an order. Do you want to disobey it? One of the 4 Nangong Dao lords under Leng Qingguo has died, and only Dongfangyu and 3 others are left. Although the loss of the elite demon sects in the pill-forming stage makes Len Wuking heartbroken, at least it is still within the tolerance range. If something happens to Dongfangyu and the other 3 Dao lords, their vitality will be seriously damaged. Please vote for me, please give me a reward. All kinds of requests, ho ho. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 244. Is the anger spreading? Hearing Li Yanran's panicked screams, the faces of everyone in the hall changed. The remaining elites of the demon sect wanted to escape through the teleportation circle as soon as possible, but they didn't know that they had been regarded by their own Lord Saint. Abandoned Sun. Rightward arrow. Walk. Following Len Wuking's sudden roar, Dongfang Yu and the other 3 Dao lords retracted their formation flags and rushed towards the teleportation circle like electricity. In the blink of an eye, Dongfang Yu and Ximen Haoshan had already disappeared into it one after another, leaving only Zucheng is filling the spirit stones and restarting the teleportation circle. The faces of the other demon sect monks in the alchemy stage in the hall showed indignant looks. The 3 great Dao lords were snatching the opportunity to escape from them. But there was no anger in his heart, but no one dared to question it, so they could only wait aside obediently. Want to escape? Stay with me. Sensing Dongfang Yu's intention to escape, Lin Su wanted to pursue him as soon as he moved, but was blocked by Len Wuyu. Seeing Dongfang Yu and Ximen Haoshan enter the teleportation circle and disappear, Lin Su suddenly understood Len Qingguo. This is about abandoning the car to save the handsome man. How can it be so easy to leave? Lin Su sneered, and 49 5 elements spirit swords flew out from Dantian to form the Dian 5 elements sword formation and strangled Len Wuyu. At the same time, a wave of evil energy surged all over his body, condensed into the armor, and moved towards Len Qingguo's back. Just hit him with one punch. Len Wuking had seen the power of the Dian 5 elements sword formation before. How could he dare to be careless? He held up the protective aura and summoned the protective spirit armor. He took out a dark broadsword and faced the sword formation, although it was a bit difficult. But the sword formation was still blocked. It was just that Len Qingguo was busy resisting the Dian 5 elements sword formation, but he didn't expect that Lin Su still had the energy to attack with his fists at the same time. By the time he reacted, Lin Su's fist had already hit his back hard. The protective air shield shattered suddenly, and Lin Su's fist only paused for a moment before slamming into the protective spirit armor. Puff. Even though he was protected by a spiritual weapon and armor, Len Qingqing still felt a huge destructive force coming from the center of his fist and into the meridians in his body. He couldn't help but spurt out a mouthful of hot blood, and was horrified at the same time. This guy was hiding his clumsiness before. The power of Dian 5 elements sword formation has not weakened at all. Under such circumstances, Lin Su can still be distracted and attack with punches. This shows that the opponent's strength is not equal to his own but much higher than his own. His feelings for the opponent just now, he didn't use all his strength at all. Lord, Holy Lord. Demon Blood Arrow. Seeing Demon Lord Len Wuking being punched by Lin Su until he vomited blood, Zucheng screamed, gritted his teeth and spit out a large mouthful of blood, which turned into a blood arrow and shot towards Lin Su's eyebrows. As soon as the blood arrow was shot, Lin Su felt as if he was in a boundless sea of blood, and endless ferocious energy surged in. This is a great move. Instinctively, Lin Su felt that this blood arrow was not simple. He used transformation in a flash to avoid it, but he did not expect that the blood arrow followed him like a gangrene attached to the bone. Blood arrow has the ability to track and lock. Dian 5 elements sword formation, earth control. Lin Su didn't dare to let the blood arrow hit him. Didn't he see that after Zucheng released this blood arrow, his whole body looked like he was suffering from a serious illness and collapsed? There was no blood on his face and he could hardly stand still. How could such a trick be simple? Of course Lin Su wanted to stop Len Qingguo, but his own safety was more important than that. He immediately called back the sword formation and turned it into a defensive formation. Only a layer of khaki shield could be seen from the sword. A figure emerged from the formation to protect Lin Su. Bah! The blood arrow hit the earth shield formed by the sword formation, and the shield was quickly corroded to create a large hole. However, the blood arrow also shrunk by half, and the remaining half still hit the sword formation. Ugh! Lin Su only felt an extremely cold-blood evil spirit invading the 5 elements spiritual swords that formed the sword formation. He couldn't help but groan and staggered back 2 steps before he could stabilize his body. He couldn't help but feel horrified. Dantian 5 elements sword formation has always been invincible when it comes out. Attacks are invincible, and the rules are impregnable. This is the first time that the defense has been breached by other people's attacks, and even injured through the 5 elements spiritual swords that make up the sword formation. Arrive at Lin Su. The cold blood evil aura is somewhat similar to Lin Su's evil aura that condenses into armor, but it is not the same. It is extremely cold and highly corrosive. If Lin Su hadn't already possessed the evil aura and had extremely strong resistance, if so, I'm afraid you'll suffer a big loss this time. Fortunately, I didn't take it carelessly. Otherwise, I would have been shot directly by a blood arrow. Who knows if I could withstand it? While Lin Su was repulsed by the blood arrow, Demon Lord Leng Qingguo grabbed the weak Zusheng and dodged into the teleportation circle. Lin Su quickly shook his hand and hit the teleportation circle with the palm, but he was still a step too late. Although the teleportation circle was shattered, Leng Weivue and Zusheng had disappeared. The teleportation circle is destroyed, we are doomed. He destroyed the teleportation circle, he destroyed the teleportation circle. We are dead, we are dead. It's all him. It's all this guy's fault. Kill him and make him pay with his life. As soon as the teleportation array was destroyed, the more than 200 elite demon sects remaining in the hall were immediately in chaos. The destruction of the teleportation array meant that they could no longer leave Sun Moon Peak. The vicious aura of the Blood Pagoda array had spread to the platform. It will soon penetrate into the main hall. As elite members of the demon sect, they knew very well how powerful the Blood Pagoda formation was. They were not able to resist it at all. Some wailed, some were at a loss, and some even vented their anger on Lin Su, shouting that Lin Su should be buried with them, and rushed towards him frantically. However, no matter how ferocious a sheep is, it is still a sheep. It is simply a pipe dream to want to kick over a lion. In Lin Su's view, these crazy demon sect monks were just sheep. With just a wave of his hand, dozens of elite members of the demon sect who rushed towards Lin Su flew back one after another and crashed into the wall of the hall and died. Oh, why did you destroy the teleportation array? This is terrible, I'm dead. A crying figure rushed towards Lin Su. It was Li Yanran with a sad face. If Lin Su hadn't recognized her with good eyesight and retracted her fist, she would probably have been lying in the corner like those demon sect monks who were crazy and attacked Lin Su. It's destroyed, it's no big deal. Lin Su said indifferently. He entered this hall to destroy the teleportation array and let the elite of the demon sect be buried in the Blood Pagoda array. My ancestor. You are not afraid of me, but I am. How can we leave the Sun and Moon Peak if the teleportation array is destroyed? Li Yanran was so angry that she almost vomited blood. Why was she so stupid that she actually believed what Lin Su said? If I had known earlier, I would have slipped into the teleportation array and escaped while Lin Su and Lord Shenjun were fighting hard. Now, everything is over. Liar. I'm going to be killed by you, wow. I don't want to die. The blood-red mist began to pour into the hall, and Li Yanran actually grabbed Lin Su's arm and cried wow. Lin Su looked at Li Yanran who was crying while holding his arm speechlessly. Is this still a cultivator of the demon sect? She is just a little girl who has not grown up. I don't know how she joined the demon sect and cultivated to the late stage of foundation building. The blood-red evil spirit has spread into the hall. The elites of the demon sect who were shrouded by the evil spirit have urged their true essence to resist, but Lin Su can see that they can't hold on for long. I'm afraid that their true essence will soon be exhausted and their flesh and soul will be corroded like those low-level cultivators on the demon spirit platform. Stop crying. How can a cultivator cry like you? If you cry again, I will leave you alone, Lin Su urged the dragon essence to prop up the shield to protect himself and Li Yanran together. Looking at Li Yanran, who was still crying, he scolded in a depressed manner. "Do you have a way to leave?" Li Yanran, who was originally crying, stopped crying all of a sudden, raised her head and looked at Lin Su, her eyes full of hope. "Nonsense." Lin Su rolled his eyes unhappily. "I'm not a fool. How could I destroy the teleportation array if I'm not sure I can leave?" As he spoke, Lin Su put his arms around Li Yanran's slender waist, kicked his feet and rushed out of the hall, rushing towards the edge of the cliff. "What do you want to do? You don't want to jump off the cliff, do you? You'll fall to death. Don't do it." As Li Yanran screamed in fear, Lin Su had already taken her to the cliff. The little girl was so scared that she closed her eyes tightly and screamed, not noticing that Lin Su had restored his dragon body and carried her on his back. "Okay, open your eyes and stop screaming, or I'll throw you down." Unable to bear the little girl's devilish voice, Lin Su scolded her. "Huh? We didn't fall down. Hey, you, how did you turn into a dragon?" Hearing Lin Su's scolding, Li Yanran stopped shouting immediately, opened her eyes timidly, cheered in surprise at first, and then jumped up in fear, almost falling off Lin Su's back, and was so scared that she quickly hugged Lin Su's dragon body tightly. "This is my martial arts, anyway, you won't understand it even if I tell you, so don't ask nonsense." While speaking, Lin Su had already flown out of the restricted airspace of Sun and Moon Peak, landed on the ground and turned back into a human form. "Okay, little girl, I've done what I promised you, go now. Remember not to go back to the demon sect, that's not the place for you." After saying this, Lin Su wanted to leave, but Li Yanran grabbed his arm tightly. "No, you can't just leave like this. Little girl, I fulfilled my promise and saved your life, what else do you want? You saved me, but you also made me homeless. Since you don't let me go back to the demon sect, you have to be responsible for me. I don't care, I'll follow you from today." Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 245. So the demon sect has already retreated and disappeared. Xianxia Patriarch looked at Lin Su, who looked regretful, and felt bitter in his mouth. "This kid is too abnormal, isn't he? He actually attacked the demon sect's main altar alone." Although Lin Su said that he was able to take down the demon sect's main altar largely by coincidence, because the illusion of Tianji Patriarch made the demon sect mistakenly launch the Blood Pagoda formation, but one person alone against the four Yuanying masters could not have any tricks, and if he didn't have that strength, he would have been beaten to pieces. Not only Xianxia Patriarch, but other people from the 5 major immortal gates also listened to Lin Su's plain and regretful narration with a shocked face, and they felt mixed emotions in their hearts. Although the 5 major immortal gates rose up to besiege the demon sect's main altar in a mighty manner, in fact, everyone had no confidence at all. After all, the demon sect has been playing a great magic power over the years. If it weren't for Xianxia Patriarch's breakthrough to the late Yuanying period, even if there was a pervert like Lin Su, the 5 major immortal gates would not have the confidence to counterattack the demon sect. But who would have thought that not only was the trick of the demon sect to lure the enemy deep into the city seen through by Lin Su, but even the entire demon sect was wiped out by Lin Su alone. According to Lin Su, the demon sect was definitely seriously injured this time, and its overall strength has dropped by more than half. I'm afraid it won't show up again for a while. That's the situation. I estimate that after this battle, the demon sect should be dormant. What we have to do is to take the time to recuperate and strengthen our strength while continuing to track its whereabouts." Lin Su summed up, and waited for a long time but no one responded. He looked up and looked around in surprise, but saw that everyone was looking at him blankly, with a rather strange expression on their faces, and couldn't help but wonder, "Any questions?" No problem, everyone waved their hands and laughed dryly. If there is no problem, then everyone can go back. A mighty counterattack on the demon sect came to an end. Except for Lin Su, the cultivators of the 5 major sects seemed to have come to the Bright Mountains for a group outing. It was really speechless. The other 4 major sects' great ancestors looked at Lin Su with sour eyes. Why didn't such a genius come from our sect? The Sword God sect's luck is too good. Patriarch Xiang was originally a little jealous that his son-in-law Lin Su was better than him, but after seeing the eyes of the 4 major sects' great ancestors, his heart suddenly became balanced. He was not the only one who felt bad. And no matter what, Lin Su is my son-in-law, you can't envy this. Patriarch Xiang thought happily, and felt in a good mood. He waved his hand with high spirits and shouted loudly, "Disciples of the Sword God sect, turn the boat around and go home." The disciples of the 5 major immortal sects turned the boat around and flew to their respective sections. The small and medium immortal sects who came to help also said goodbye and left. Lin Su breathed a sigh of relief and sneaked into the cabin. After setting up a formation barrier, his mind entered the spiritual field space. Lin Su now has a headache, which is about a woman. To be precise, it is about a little girl who insists on following him. It is Li Yanran who was caught by Lin Su for questioning and rescued from Sun and Moon Peak, and then clung to him like a piece of cowhide plaster and couldn't get rid of. Li Yanran is not only a woman, but also a disciple of the demon section. Lin Su really doesn't know how to deal with her. He can't just bring her back, right? What if people from the 5 major immortal sects see this? There was no other way. Lin Su could only temporarily send it to the spirit field space and leave it to the care of Xianxia and the girls. "Brother Lin, you're back." As soon as she saw Lin Su entering the spirit field space, Li Yanran greeted him with a smile. "Who is your eldest brother?" "Stop yelling." Lin Su looked at Xianxia and the other girls, but they just smiled at him and said nothing. A confident look on his face. "When did I promise you?" Lin Su was a little crazy. Why didn't he have a good eye at that time, and he could catch such a top product with just a casual grab? "You don't need to agree, just the sisters agree." A sly smile flashed across Li Yanran's face, and she immediately looked at Zhuang'er and the girls with a look of help. "Little Lin, Sister Yanran has told us what happened. Her life story is very pitiful. Now she has nowhere to go. I think we should keep her here. She can keep us sisters company," Zhuang'er said with a smile. Although she and Lin Su were already married, she still habitually called Lin Su Little Lin. "Yes, husband, let Sister Yanran stay," Lin Lingyu also persuaded. "Don't worry, Yanran, husband is a good person. He won't drive you away, right, husband?" Ye Ping'er was full of confidence. "This little sister is not bad," Yuluasha Shenbaiun said concisely. "You." Lin Su was speechless. What kind of magic potion did this girl give Zhuang'er and the others? Why are everyone speaking for her in such a short time? "Brother Lin, don't worry, I will definitely not cause you any trouble. Just let me stay." Li Yanran looked at Lin Su with a pitiful face, as if she would cry for you if you don't agree. "You have already caused me trouble." Lin Su put his hand on his forehead and nodded helplessly. He had seen what this ant was capable of. She would definitely cry without any hesitation. Coupled with the burning eyes of several beloved wives, Lin Su what else to do but compromise? "Long live. I knew you would let me stay, Brother Lin." Li Yanran jumped up with joy. "Brother Lin, you will be my eldest brother from now on, and I will be your little sister. You have to teach me how to practice and help me improve my cultivation. If I am bullied, you have to help me. If I bully others, you have to help me. If you want to help me, I..." Dozens of invisible black lines flashed across Lin Su's forehead. He held back the cold sweat that was about to break out on his forehead. He said, "I have something to deal with," and hurriedly exited the spirit field space. If he stayed any longer, I must be obsessed with this little girl. How come I was so blind in the first place that I could catch such a trouble easily? What is this? Silent all the way, Lin Su didn't want to go in the LinkedIn space for the time being, so he stayed in the cabin to meditate and adjust his breath. After returning to the Sword God sect, Patriarch Xiang originally wanted to hold a celebration party, but Lin Su declined. There was really nothing to celebrate at this time. The demon sect was not completely wiped out, but was dormant after being hit hard. Secondly, Lin Su really didn't want to join in the fun. This kind of celebration party that was purely about accepting other people's praises was not interesting. It would be better to prepare 2 delicious banquets and have a feast with his lover and brothers. Lin Su didn't hide the matter about Li Yanran from Ancestor Xiang, and he couldn't hide it from each other. The father-in-law likes to stay in the spiritual field space when he has nothing to do now, and he will see Li Yanran sooner or later. It's okay, it's okay. She's just a little girl in the foundation building stage. Sewer, just treat her like a girl and let her accompany Zuier and the others in the spirit field space. Ancestor Zi Yang was quite tolerant. When they heard that it was Zi Zhouer and the other girls, they all agreed and immediately put on indifferent smiles, leaving Lin Su speechless for a while. It's not you who's in trouble anyway, so of course it doesn't matter to you, Lin Su muttered quietly. Sewer, what did you say? No, it's nothing. In this way, Li Yanran lived in the LinkedIn space. The little girl had a sweet mouth and was very good at coaxing people. She made Zi Zhouer and other girls happy. She gave her all the good things, many of which were from Lin Su. The elixir refined for the girls made Lin Su feel heartbroken. However, this little girl's qualifications are indeed not bad. With the help of Lin Su's pills, she quickly broke through to the early stage of pill formation. Even the tyrant Bear King was full of praise for this little girl's qualifications, saying that she was the master of light and darkness. Physique is said to be an extremely rare physique. You're lucky, kid. This girl's physique is extremely rare. She might be of great use to you in the future. The tyrant Bear King's words made Lin Su interested, but unfortunately no matter how he asked, the tyrant Bear King always looked mysterious and was unwilling to say another word. Lin Su could only keep this curiosity to himself. Temporarily suppressed in the bottom of my heart. Just as Lin Su expected, the demon sect went dormant completely after its defeat from Sun Moon Peak. The 5 major immortal sects sent a large number of disciples to various places to investigate the demon sect's whereabouts, but there was no news at all, just like 1,000 years ago. Generally, as time passed, the 5 major immortal sects gave up the idea of searching for the whereabouts of the demon section. They devoted themselves to cultivating their health, developing and strengthening their own strength, and recruited many disciples. Lin Su and others practiced in seclusion in the spirit field space, trying their best to improve their cultivation. 100 years later, Zhang Yunfan took the lead in breaking the elixir and becoming a baby, successfully breaking through to the early stage of Yuanying. Following Zhang Yunfan, Zi Zhouer, Leng Ruyu, and Ye Ping'er also followed. They have successively broken through to the early stage of nascent soul, and even the little witch Li Yanran has broken through to the middle stage of pill formation. Although her cultivation speed is slightly lower than that of Lin Su and Zhang Yunfan, it is actually faster than that of Zi Zhouer and the other girls. Lin Su secretly marveled at this, and the unhappiness in his heart had long been forgotten as time went by. He now felt that he was lucky at the time, and he could catch such a precious girl casually, although he didn't know this little girl will be of no use to him in the future, but I think the tyrant Bear King will not talk nonsense. Everyone has made obvious progress, but Lin Su himself seems to be stuck in a bottleneck. The dragon essence is indeed increasing all the time, and his combat power is getting stronger, but his cultivation has stagnated at the peak of the middle nascent soul stage. 300 years have passed without any progress. Lin Su himself didn't know why this happened. You must know that he is now a demon spirit, so logically there should be no bottleneck. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 246. I can't understand, I really can't understand. Time passed day by day, and Lin Su's cultivation level still had not improved. What was only an increase in the total amount of dragon energy and the enhancement of his physical body. However, no matter how the total amount of dragon UN is increased, it is only a quantitative increase. There is no qualitative change at all. Although the combat power has been improved, it is at most equivalent to an increase from the original total value of 100 to 101. 10, 120, up to 150, which is nothing compared to the tenfold or dozens of times increase in combat power from the breakthrough to the late nascent soul. Grandpa Xiang, I have never seen you in this situation. After all, although your soul is human, your body is dragon. The Tyrant Bear King couldn't explain Lin Su's situation. After rubbing his jaw with his huge bear paw for a while, he gave Lin Su a suggestion: since there is no progress in the retreat, you might as well go out for a walk, look at the famous mountains and rivers, practice a lot, and maybe you will have a breakthrough once you have an epiphany. Lin Su was speechless at the Tyrant Bear King's unsatisfactory suggestion, but he finally accepted the Tyrant Bear King's suggestion and decided to go out for a walk, just to relax and relax. Lin Su told Zizuer and Zhang Yunfan of his decision. They all agreed, but at the same time they also said that they could not accompany Lin Su to travel. Unlike Lin Su, they were now in the stage of accumulating true energy and were still in the stage of accumulating true energy. If you don't encounter any bottlenecks, practicing meditation quietly is the right way. Yunfan, haven't you always wanted to return to the mortal world and travel? Why do you want to cultivate in hiding? Zhang Yunfan, as a pure yang body with Tianling roots, will automatically increase his true energy even if he does not practice. This guy has always been a restless person. Lin Su thought that he had been practicing in seclusion in the spirit field space for 300 years. He can't help but want to travel with him. Anyway, we are all in the linked yen space now. If you encounter something interesting, Lin Zi, you can let me out at any time. Zhang Yunfan chuckled and blinked. Besides, I'm only at the peak of the early stage of nascent soul, and I'm far behind you compared to Lin Zi. If I don't work harder, won't I be pulled further and further away by you? Speaking of this, Zhang Yunfan glanced at the Jade Rakshasa Shen Baiun not far away. My Baiun said that when my cultivation reaches the integration stage, when will she agree to dual cultivation with me? Do you think I can stop working harder? Is this last point your real reason? Lin Su looked at Zhang Yunfan with disdain. This guy actually practiced diligently just to cultivate with women. He is really worthless. So what? Zhang Yunfan looked confident. Brother, I'm still single until now. It's hard to find someone you like, so of course I have to work hard. Lin Zi, don't be too full for a man to know that a hungry man is hungry. Lin Su retreated. Zhang Yunfan's reason was very strong. As it was, Lin Su really had nothing to refute. Lin Su told Ancestor Xiang about his plan. Ancestor Xiang quite agreed with Lin Su's plan. He had seen Lin Su's situation in the past 300 years. To be honest, he didn't understand. What reason? Logically speaking, Lin Su's accumulation is enough, even completely surpassing that of a late-stage nascent soul monk like him. There is no bottleneck in his demon body's physique. He should have broken through long ago, but the fact is that Lin Suka there is no way to break through. Since latent cultivation is useless, there is nothing wrong with going out for a walk as suggested by the Tyrant Bear King. Ancestor Xiang has seen many examples of sudden enlightenment and cultivation. He himself also entered the world by chance. It was only then that the cultivation level of the person's induction state skyrocketed, and he successfully broke through to the core formation stage in a short period of time, and this was how he stood out from his peers. If it hadn't been for that epiphany, I'm afraid there would be no ancestor Xiang today. Sewer, since I want to take charge of the Sword God sect, I won't accompany you. You should be careful. As soon as the words came out, Patriarch Xiang suddenly felt a little weird. He seemed to be a little nervous. With Lin Su's abnormal strength, there is probably no one in the world of immortality who can hurt him. It doesn't matter if he is careful or not. Don't worry, father-in-law, I will pay attention, he said it very modestly, but the confidence on Lin Su's face was not hidden at all. The ancestor of Xiang waved his hand with some boredom, left a word and turned into a stream of light towards Zhangji. Unfeng flew away. Take care of Zuier. Zi Zhouer and others were cultivating quietly in the spirit field space. As long as Lin Su was fine, they would be fine. Lin Su raised a smile on his lips, set up his escape light and flew towards the gate of the Sword God sect. Half a month later, Liuguang City, a large border city of the Tenglong dynasty, the country under the rule of Lingyuan sect. Have you heard that the new uncle of Lu Yuan's wife's family is dead? Died again? Is this the third one to die this year? Miss Lu is really a cruel person. 3 husbands in a row died suddenly within 3 days of their marriage. It's not just Kefu. I heard that Lu Su has a demonic spirit in his heart and body. No family is willing to marry the Lu family, so he has no choice but to recruit a son-in-law. It's just that the demon is a demon, and he killed 3 husbands in succession. I'm afraid no one will dare to come to the door again. SHHH. Keep your voice down, be careful not to hear it in Mr. Liu's ears. You won't be able to eat and walk around. What I said is all the truth, so what if Mr. Liu hears it? He is just a rich man, and I don't rely on his Liu family to make a living. What am I afraid of him doing? Little brother, you are an outsider, right? This Lu Yuanwei is a very powerful person in our Liuguang city. Even the city lord has to give him some respect. If you really offend him, you will die without knowing how you did it. What is the background of this Lu Yuanwei? Why is he so powerful? I heard that Lu Yuanwei's family has someone in Lingyuan section. Otherwise, do you think our city lord would care about a small Yuanwei? At the window on the 2nd floor of Tianrunju, the best restaurant in Liuguang City, Lin Su was drinking fine wine and tasting delicious food while admiring the beautiful scenery outside the window. He heard a discussion from a table next to him. Lin Su didn't care much at first, but later he became interested. 3 brothers, I am Lin Su. I just heard you mention the things about Lu Yuanwei's family. I am quite interested. I wonder if you can sit down and have a few drinks with you. Lin Su stood up and walked over, speaking. Seeing the 3 people looking up at him, Lin Su smiled and said, Brothers, I am just a little curious. How about putting the bill for today on Lin? Waiter, bring the good wine and food. The 3 people drinking were all civilians in Liuguang City. They were not very wealthy and did not come to Tianrunju often. Seeing that Lin Su, such a fool, was willing to treat them, why would they not want to? It was just a chat about some gossip about Lu Yuanwei's family. Brother Lin is really polite. What's wrong with that? Please sit down. The middle-aged scholar among the 3 asked Lin Su to sit down, looked Lin Su up and down and asked, I am Zhangju. From what Brother Lin said, it seems that I am not a local of our Liuguang city. Brother Zhang is right. I came here for a trip. Just now, I heard Brother Zhang say that Lu Yuanwei's family has someone in Lingyuan section. May I ask if it is Lingyuan sect, one of the 5 major immortal sects? Lin Su said. Yes, it is Lingyuan sect, one of the 5 major sects. It is said that Mr. Liu's son is a disciple of Lingyuan section, so although Mr. Liu is just a businessman, he has a high status in Liuguang city. Even the city lord has to be polite when he sees Mr. Lu. The best wine and food were quickly served. Seeing Lin Su's generosity, the three middle-aged scholars did not hide anything and told him everything they knew about Mr. Liu's family. From the three people, Lin Su learned that Mr. Lu was originally an ordinary businessman in Liuguang City. 10 years ago, Mr. Liu's son was selected by Lingyuan sect to be accepted. As a result, the Lu family rose in status and went directly from a small merchant family to the upper class of Liuguang City. In just a few years, the business grew bigger and bigger, and the family property grew bigger and bigger like a snowball. Although the family property was earned, no one came to inherit it. Lu Yuanhui's son became an immortal after joining the Lingyuan sect, and he certainly would not be interested in the meager wealth in the secular world. Lu Yuanhui only had one son and one daughter, so if he couldn't rely on his son, he could only rely on his daughter. Miss Lu Suxin of the Lu family was extremely beautiful. She was carefully taught by Lu Yuanhui since she was a child. She was proficient in piano, chess, calligraphy, and painting. She was both talented and beautiful, so she didn't have to worry about marriage. Unfortunately, for some unknown reason, 3 consecutive sons-in-law died suddenly on the 3rd day of their marriage, and there was no trace of injury on their bodies. Rumors about Miss Liu's family started to spread in Liuguang City. Some said that Miss Lu was born to be a bad luck to her husband, and some said that Miss Lu was haunted by evil spirits. Mr. Lu thought of many ways to deal with this, such as asking famous doctors for treatment, asking Taoist priests to exorcise evil spirits, and even sending letters to his son in the Lingyuan sect for help, but he was still at a loss and couldn't find the reason. There was no other way, so Mr. Lu could only offer a huge reward, hoping to attract talented people to find out the cause. Unfortunately, he spent a lot of money, but there was no progress at all. Mr. Lu was so angry that he beat those fake masters and drove them out of Liuguang City one by one. Unlucky husband. Haunted by evil spirits? Interesting. After leaving Tianrunju, Lin Su came to the city gate tower as the middle-aged scholar said, and tore off the Lu family's reward list posted on the city wall. Hey, another reckless guy has taken down the list. He looks handsome, but he's not going to play tricks again, is he? When the people around saw Lin Su tearing off the list, they immediately started talking. A middle-aged man walked up to Lin Su, looked him up and down, and said, "Is it you who took down the list?" The middle-aged man was the housekeeper of the outer courtyard of Liu's mansion. He was responsible for posting the list to find talented people. However, those who took down the list these days were all liars who were uneducated and only knew how to cheat. Lin Su looked like a young man in his early 20s, so when housekeeper Lu saw Lin Su, he instinctively doubted him. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 247. This little brother, do you know what this article represents? Butler Lu looked at Lin Su sideways, his words full of suspicion and sarcasm. Why should I reveal the list if I don't know? Lin Su also looked sideways at Butler Lu and said in a calm tone, "Isn't this list posted here just waiting for someone to reveal it? The list of our Lu family is not so easy to expose. Before this, many swindlers had their legs broken and thrown out of the city by this butler. This little brother, you must think clearly. Money is of course important. There must be a live flower." Butler Liu's voice was sinister. "If you don't have diamonds, you won't get porcelain work. If I dare to reveal the results, I'm sure of it." "Stop talking nonsense and lead the way," Lin Su said with a faint smile. Snored. Being robbed for nothing, Butler Lu was slightly annoyed, but it was not convenient for him to do it in public at this moment, otherwise no one would dare to expose this list in the future. He snorted coldly, stretched out his hand to lead him forward, but felt in his heart he secretly said fiercely, "You bastard, if you dare to contradict this butler, I will break your legs and pull out your tongue later when the master gives me permission to do so." In Butler Liu's opinion, Lin Su is only in his 20s, what ability can he have? It was definitely like the previous swindlers who just wanted to defraud the Lu family's money. Before they even arrived at the Lu mansion, they were already imagining how they would give Lin Su a lesson later. Are you the one who revealed the list? Following Butler Lu to the Lu mansion, Lin Su met Lu Yuanwei in the main hall. Like Butler Lu, Yuanwei Lu frowned when he saw Lin Su's appearance, and instinctively had some doubts. After all, judging from his appearance, Lin Su was too young now. Lin Su didn't say anything, just nodded slightly. What an arrogant boy. A trace of anger flashed in Lu Yuanwei's eyes. In this flowing light city, even the city lord would clasp his fists and salute Lu Yuanwei when meeting him. How dare this kid be so rude to him? Why do you dare to expose the list? After all, he was a person who had been in a position of power for a long time. Lu Yuanwei quickly suppressed the anger in his heart and asked coldly. You don't have to say what you have to do it. What do you think, Lu Yuanwei? Lin Su smiled lightly and said, should you please invite Miss Lu out first and let me see the situation. Member Lu looked at Lin Su intently for a while, and then he said to Butler Lu, Lu Ming, go and invite the eldest lady out. Yes, sir. Butler Lu responded, glared at Lin Su fiercely, turned around and walked towards the inner hall. After a cup of tea, a woman in pink clothes followed Butler Lu into the main hall. It was Lu Suxin, the eldest lady of the Lu family. Lin Su raised his head and glanced at Lu Suxin, and his eyes lit up. He saw that she was wearing a pink rose-scented tight-fitting robe with sleeves top, an emerald green smoked gauze skirt underneath, and her waist was tied into a big halo with soft gold threads. With a bow tie and a jasper phoenix hairpin stuck at the side of her temples, she looked slender and charming. She is such a stunning beauty. She is not inferior to the other girls from Zizhou, but the look on her face is cold. Without even a trace of a smile, it would be a bit of a fly in the ointment. Dad, my daughter has decided to let go of her hair and go home from now on, and will no longer harm others or herself. Please stop worrying about your daughter. Lu Suxin also glanced at Lin Su, a look of surprise flashed in her eyes, as if she didn't expect Lin Su to be so young. Then her face turned cold again, she turned to Yuan Lu and saluted, and said coldly. Nonsense. Lu Yuanwei glared, my father is still alive, what family do you come from? Do you know that this is a great act of unfilial piety? After a pause, it seemed that because of the presence of an outsider like Lin Su, Lu Yuanwei took 2 deep breaths to suppress the anger in his heart, and his tone became much softer. Daughter, Dad has already said that he will definitely find a way to find Gao Gao. Those of you who want to lift the curse on you should put away that ridiculous idea of becoming a monk and don't bring it up again. Lu Suxin's eyes flashed with sadness and helplessness, she lowered her head and was speechless, while Lin Su frowned, a curse. A flash of silver light flashed in his eyes, and Lin Su turned on the silver eyes of breaking the illusion and looked at Lu Suxin carefully again. This time he found something was wrong. There was a faint black energy lingering in Lu Suxin's heart. The shape of a black dragon appears under the dragon's mouth, and a thin black line spurts out from the dragon's mouth and is connected to its lower body by blood vessels. That's it? No wonder no groom can survive more than 3 days. Lin Su knew clearly in his heart that this black dragon-like black energy should be the cause of the sudden death of the 3 groomsmen. The black energy must have entered the groomsman's body through Lu Suxin's vagina, which caused the 3 men to die violently. But what exactly is this black energy? Why is it that there is nothing wrong with Lu Suxin's body, but it will be fatal when it enters the groom's body? Interesting. Broken Silver Eyes could see where the black energy was, but Lin Su couldn't figure out what the black energy was for a while, but it was definitely not a mortal thing, and it probably wasn't some sinister thing, because Lin Su didn't feel the slightest hint of evil. This little brother, this is my daughter. Since you have uncovered the notice, you should know what to do, right? I will give you 3 days. If you can find out the reason within 3 days, I will give you a lot of rewards. If you can't find it, Seeing Lin Su staring at his daughter intently, Lu Yuanwei felt unhappy again. He was another pervert who coveted the beauty of his daughter. Lin Su didn't care about Lu Yuanwei's threats. Not to mention that he had already figured out the reason. Even if he really couldn't figure out the reason, who could stop him if he wanted to leave? At that moment, Lin Su's lips curved slightly and he said, "It's just a trivial matter, why do you need 3 days? I have found the reason, and I can remove the curse for Miss Lu now, but..." Lu Yuanwei was stunned. Did he find the reason so quickly? Isn't this kid talking nonsense? Dare you ask me your last name? No need for your surname to be Lin. Brother Lin, have you really found out the reason why your daughter, and those 3 husbands died suddenly? Lu Yuanwei originally wanted to say kill the 3 husbands-in-law, but when the words came to his mouth, he felt inappropriate and abruptly changed his tune. Found it, it's on Miss Liu's left breast. Lin Su stretched out his hand and pointed. My left breast. Lu Suxin was startled and couldn't help but reached out and pressed it. Suddenly there was a wave of waves, which made all the servants in the hall look in a daze, and even Lin Su was slightly absent-minded. Unexpectedly, Miss Lu is not only beautiful in appearance, but also has such a hot figure. No wonder people come to her door one after another, knowing that she will be killed. I'm afraid it's not all for the Lu family's huge wealth, but also a large part of it. He must be coveting the beauty of Miss Lu. As if she noticed that everyone was looking at her differently, a blush flashed across Lu Suxin's face, and she immediately glared at Lin Su fiercely. It was because of what this guy said about her left chest that she suddenly lost her composure. This scumbag. Lin Su didn't know that he had become a slut in the eyes of Miss Lu, but he still looked at Lu Suxin with admiration, nodded and said, yes, it's on Miss Liu's left breast. As for the specific reasons for the sudden deaths of the 3 groomsmen, Lin Su glanced at everyone else in the hall except Mr. Lu and Miss Lu. Mr. Lu understood, waved his hands to everyone and said, you all go down. Yes, master, all the maids and servants responded in unison and retreated. Only Butler Lu was still standing beside Yuan Wei. Lin Su still didn't speak, just looked at Butler Lu quietly. Lu Ming, you go down too. Lu Yuanwei waved his hand towards Butler Lu. Yes, master. Butler Lu was a little reluctant. Lu Yuanwei always kept his word. Although he could dominate in front of other servants, he did not dare to disobey Lu Yuanwei's orders. He could only glare bitterly. Lin Su glanced at him and bowed back. Brother Lin, you can talk now. Lu Yuanwei glanced at Lin Su, and a meaningful light flashed in his eyes. I'm not busy, I'm not busy. Before I tell you the reason, I want to make sure of one thing first. Lin Su didn't care about Lu Yuanwei's glare and laughed. Shi Shiren walked to the seat beside him and sat down. He picked up the teacup and took a sip. Then he smiled lightly and said, Lu Yuanwei is the best in the list. What kind of reward does it mean that there will be a big reward? It turns out that this guy is not only a prostitute, but also a money addict. His good looks are really in vain. As soon as Lin Su's question came out, Lu Suxin's feelings for him suddenly dropped to another level, and there was an unabashed look of contempt in her eyes. Lu Yuanwei was not surprised at all. Instead, he was a little complacent. It was said that a brave man must be rewarded with a heavy reward. Regardless of whether he was a worldly expert or not, wouldn't he have to succumb to money? As long as Brother Lin can remove the curse from my little girl's body, I will definitely satisfy you with my reward. What do you think of 1 white and 2 silvers? Based on the prices in Liuguang City, 2 taels of silver is enough for a family of 3 to live comfortably for a year. 1 tael is definitely not a small amount, but what makes Lu Yuanwei strange is that Lin Su heard the reward of 1 tael. His expression didn't change at all. Why, Brother Lin thinks it's missing. Then tell me the number. How many are you satisfied with? Lu Yuanwei frowned slightly. Lin Su smiled and said nothing, just stretched out a finger. 1,000 taels. Lu Yuanwei's face looked a little ugly. This kid's appetite must be too big. He actually wants 1,000 taels of silver. No matter, as long as he can really get rid of the curse on Xiner and save the Lu family's wealth, 1,000 taels will be 1,000 taels. However, Lin Su still smiled and said nothing, still holding out a finger. 10,000 taels. Brother Lin, you must not be too greedy, otherwise you will not end well. Lu Yuanwei's face darkened, there were faint veins bulging on his forehead, and there was a hint of threat in his voice. No, no, no. You are wrong, Mr. Lu. I don't need any silver. I only want one thing from Miss Lu. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 248. One thing on Xiner, Mr. Lu was stunned. Just one thing. Wu Fei had some clothes and jewelry on his daughter. No matter how valuable they would never exceed 100 taels of silver. This kid surnamed Lin actually gave up the reward money for the competition and only wanted one thing. Could he be crazy? Yes, just one thing. Lin Su nodded affirmatively, not paying attention to Mr. Liu's look like a fool. Gold, silver, jewelry, and other mundane wealth were of no use to him. If he really wanted them, he could get them at any time. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. The only thing Lin Su was really interested in was one thing on Miss Liu's body, a jade pendant tied around her waist. You want this jade pendant? Lu Suxin followed Lin Su's gaze and looked at her waist. In addition to clothes, there was only the jade pendant tied around her waist. That's right. As long as Miss Lu agrees to give me this jade pendant as a reward, I will help you get rid of the curse on your body. Are you serious? Do I look like I'm kidding? Okay, I'll give it to you. Lu Suxin took off the jade pendant without hesitation and handed it to Lin Su. This was a very ordinary jade pendant that she bought at the market for 20 taels of silver when she was a child. The reason she bought it at that time was just because the jade pendant looked pretty good, vaguely like a flying dragon soaring in the sky. Okay. Since Miss Lu is so straightforward, Lin Su will keep his word and help you get rid of the curse on your body. Lin Su smiled as soon as he took the jade pendant. This inconspicuous dragon-patterned jade pendant is definitely a treasure. Just now, under his silver eyes of delusion breaking, Miss Liu's body, except for the dragon-shaped black air on the left heart of her chest, only this dragon-patterned jade pendant reacted. Lin Su instinctively felt that this was a good thing, and now it seems that it is indeed true. Under Lin Su's spiritual sense, there is a strong essence in this dragon jade pendant. This essence is very similar to the nature of dragon essence, but not exactly the same. Lin Su is not sure what this essence is for a while, but it is certain that it is related to this dragon jade pendant. And in Lin Su's opinion, this essence should be of the same nature as the dragon-shaped black gas in Miss Liu's left chest heart. I am afraid that the formation of dragon-shaped black gas in Miss Liu's body is related to this dragon jade pendant. Brother Lin? Brother Lin, seeing that Lin Su said a word with a smile and then stopped moving, and just stared at the dragon jade pendant in a daze, Mr. Lu couldn't help but raise his voice. Ah! What's the matter? Lin Su raised his head and saw that Mr. Lu were looking at him with dissatisfaction. Then he came back to his senses and laughed awkwardly. Sorry, I was just studying this dragon-patterned jade pendant. Now I can be sure that the curse on Miss Lu was caused by this dragon-patterned jade pendant. What? Mr. Lu and Miss Lu stared at the dragon-patterned jade pendant in Lin Su's hand in amazement. After a while, Miss Lu trembled and said, You said that my 3 husbands were all. That's right, Lin Su nodded affirmatively and said, this jade pendant seems to absorb some strange energy. This energy will be transferred to the heart position of your left chest through the jade pendant, and then transferred to the lower genitals through the blood. If I am not mistaken, Miss Lu, your 3 husbands should have died suddenly during lovemaking, right? How do you know? Lu Suxin couldn't help but blurt out, and then embarrassment and grief surged on her face at the same time. Lin Su was right. Her 3 husbands died suddenly without any signs during lovemaking. It was because of this that there were rumors that Lu Suxin was born to be unlucky in marriage. It was also because the scenes when the 3 grooms died suddenly were exactly the same that there were rumors that Miss Lu was haunted by evil spirits. I have already said that the energy absorbed by this jade pendant will enter the heart position of your left chest and then transfer to the lower genitals. When your 3 husbands have sex with you, this energy will naturally transfer to their bodies. When a certain amount is reached, their vitality will be cut off and they will die suddenly. Surprisingly, it is like this. Lu Yuanwei stared at the dragon-patterned jade pendant in Lin Su's hand in amazement, and a chill ran down his back. Is this jade pendant some evil thing? But according to what you said, Brother Lin, why is my daughter safe and sound? Lin Su smiled and shook his head and said, this jade pendant is not an evil thing, but a treasure. However, treasures are obtained by those who are virtuous and capable. If one's own luck is not good enough, the treasure will become a steel knife that urges death. Miss Lu is naturally a blessed person, so the energy in this jade pendant will not harm you when it is in your body. Instead, it can make you healthy and radiant. But your 3 husbands don't have such good luck, so it's no wonder that they can't bear it. It is true that treasures are obtained by those who are virtuous and capable, but this is not the reason why Lu Suxin can withstand the black essence. Lin Su has already seen that Lu Suxin is a very yin person born in a yin year, yin month, yin day, and yin time. Originally, with her physique, she would never live beyond the age of 16. It was precisely the black essence in this dragon-shaped jade pendant that saved her life. Although Lin Su was not too clear about what these black essences were, he observed through his spiritual sense that these black essences were of the most yang nature, which could just offset the excessive yin in Lu Suxin's body, so she was able to live safely until now. However, women are yin and men are yang. If these extremely yang black essences enter the man's body, it would be like adding fuel to the fire. How could ordinary people bear it? Of course, they died of excessive yang. In the eyes of ordinary people, this is a sudden death without any scars. However, Lin Su could not tell Lu Yuanwei and Lu Suxin about this. For ordinary people like them, this explanation is too complicated and difficult to understand, and is far less convincing than good fortune. Moreover, Lin Su's goal is to get this dragon-patterned jade pendant. If Lu Yuanwei and his daughter knew that Lu Suxin could survive only because of this dragon-patterned jade pendant, how could they be willing to give it to Lin Su? Of course, if Lin Su took it by force, naturally no one could stop him from getting the dragon-patterned jade pendant, but this would be too embarrassing, and Lin Su disdained to do so. Besides, he didn't intend to just take the dragon jade pendant and let Lu Suxin die. He must find a way to save Lu Suxin's life and remove the black energy in her body. In this way, he would feel at ease to take the dragon jade pendant. Mr. Lin, please save my daughter and remove the energy in her body. Lu Yuanwei was anxious. The dragon jade pendant now belonged to Lin Su, but what about the energy in his daughter's body? If it was not cleared, wouldn't he die if he invited a son-in-law to come? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 249. After seeing Lin Su's strength, Mr. Liu's attitude suddenly changed 180 degrees, and even the address changed from Brother Lin to Mr. Lin. Don't worry, Mr. Liu, since I have accepted the jade pendant, I will naturally keep my promise to remove Miss Liu's curse. Lin Su smiled, and suddenly changed his tone, but this requires the cooperation of Miss Liu. No problem, Mr. Lin, Just tell me what you need, and I will make sure someone prepares it, Mr. Lu agreed without thinking. No. I think you misunderstood me, Mr. Lu. Lin Su shook his head. I don't need anything, I just need Miss Liu's cooperation. How do you want me to cooperate with you? Lu Suxin looked at Lin Su, and for some reason, she suddenly had a bad premonition in her heart. Miss Lu, if you want to remove the black energy curse in your body, there is only one way, that is, I will transfer it from your body to my body. How to transfer? Lu Suxin had a vague guess. The transfer method mentioned by Lin Su might. Sure enough, Lin Su said lightly, body contact, skin to skin. Lecher. How dare you take advantage of me? Lu Suxin was furious. This kid is really not a good thing, he is simply a dirty pervert. Lecher. Take advantage. Miss Lu, how can you say that? I just want to put my palm on your left chest on your back to suck out the black energy, can this be called taking advantage? Lin Su looked at Lu Suxin in astonishment, not knowing how he had offended this lady. With Lin Su's strength, he could actually suck out the black energy in Lu Suxin's body without skin contact with her, but if that happened, without the neutralization of the black energy, the extreme yin energy in Lu Suxin's body would definitely burst out, and I'm afraid that the moment the black energy left her body would take her life. What Lin Su had to do was to inject a formation into his body while extracting the black essence, a formation that could reverse yin and yang, the small 5 elements yin and yang rotating formation. This formation could replace the black essence to transform the excess yin energy in Lu Suxin's body into yang energy, achieving the effect of yin and yang balance, and Lu Suxin could obtain the energy to drive the small 5 elements yin and yang rotating formation through eating, but he just became more able to eat. I think with the huge wealth of Mr. Liu's family, it shouldn't be difficult to bear this amount of food consumption. Stick it on the back to suck out the black air. Lu Suxin was stunned. Looking at Lin Su's surprised look, Lu Suxin reacted all of a sudden. It seemed that he had made a mistake and misunderstood the other party. Suddenly, on the red cloud, he whispered with some shame and annoyance, why didn't you say it earlier? Didn't I say it a long time ago? Isn't it physical contact and skin-to-skin contact when your hands are on the back? Lin Su glanced at Lu Suxin resentfully and muttered. Miss Lu was so embarrassed that she wanted to find a hole to hide in. It was indeed her own fault for misinterpreting the matter, but it was not entirely her fault. Who knew that the physical contact and skin-to-skin contact that Lin Su mentioned would be like this, causing her to misunderstand and make a fool of herself? Lecher. Bad guy. Glazing at Lin Su with hatred, Lu Suxin stamped her feet, covered her face with her hands, and ran towards the back hall. A gust of fragrant wind blew by and she disappeared around the corner. This, Mr. Lu, do you still want to remove this curse from Miss Lu? Seeing Lu Suxin leave in shame and anger, Lin Su couldn't help but be a little dumbfounded. Yes, of course. Mr. Lin, my daughter is a little shy, I hope you don't mind, let me talk to her first. Come on. Butler Lu came in, and Mr. Lu ordered him, Lu Ming, take Mr. Lin to the guest room to rest. Try to meet any requests of Mr. Lin. Butler Lu was a little surprised. Why did Mr. Liu's attitude towards Lin Su change so much in such a short time? It seemed that he had a hint of respect. But it was not his turn to question Mr. Liu's order. He could only suppress his doubts. After responding, he stretched out his hand to Lin Su and said, Mr. Lin, please follow me. Mr. Lu, Miss Liu's matter should be decided as soon as possible. Lin Su stood up, clasped his fists to Mr. Lu, and followed Butler Lu out of the lobby. Is it better to do it sooner rather than later? We have to persuade Xiner quickly, lest something unexpected happens. After Lin Su left, Mr. Lu pondered for a moment, stood up and walked towards the inner hall. No matter what, he had to persuade his daughter to accept Lin Su's help in removing the curse as soon as possible, otherwise something might happen. Lin Su followed Butler Liu to the guest room in the east wing. Because Mr. Liu's attitude had changed drastically, Butler Liu did not dare to show his face to Lin Su this time. He arranged a good guest room and a banquet for Lin Su. Xiao Tu, come out. With a thought, Lin Su pulled the two-ling pig out of the linked yen space. The little guy was originally snoring, and was still snoring when he was pulled out of the linked yen space, but suddenly his nose twitched, and his body swayed and flew up, slowly landing on the table with the banquet, hugged a roast goose and ate it, and still snored softly while eating. What a foodie, he didn't forget to eat even when he was sleeping. Several invisible black lines flashed across Lin Su's forehead, and he couldn't help but gather his energy into a hammer and hit the Earth Spirit Pig's forehead with a bang. Ouch! Which bastard dares to sneak attack me? The Earth Spirit Pig jumped up 3 feet high in pain, roaring with anger on his face. After seeing Lin Su's unfriendly expression, he immediately wilted and smiled awkwardly. It's Big Brother. What's the matter? Xiao Tu, you slept soundly. You didn't forget to eat even when you were asleep. Lin Su narrowed his eyes and looked at the Earth Spirit Pig. Who did you call a bastard just now? Did I say that? No. Oh, I guess I was confused in my sleep. Big Brother, is there anything I can do for you? The Earth Spirit Pig pretended to be confused, then put on a flattering smile and flattered Lin Su, but his eyes kept drifting to the food beside him. Lin Su was amused by the appearance of the Earth Spirit Pig, and laughed and scolded, "Okay, you foodie, don't pretend to be confused in front of me. I do need your help, but seeing how greedy you are, you won't be in the mood to help me unless I let you have a good meal. Okay, don't just stand there, eat." Long live Big Brother, the Earth Spirit Pig cheered, turned around and pounced on the table again, ready to eat. Suddenly, as if remembering something, he looked up at Lin Su, his eyes rolled, and he was very painful to divide about a quarter of the food on the table and pushed it in front of Lin Su, smiling charmingly, "Big Brother, you eat too." "You guy," Lin Su shook his head with a smile and picked up the wine glass. He didn't care much about the food on the table, but if he didn't eat, I'm afraid the Earth Spirit Pig wouldn't be at ease. Seeing Lin Su move his chopsticks, the Earth Spirit Pig couldn't help it anymore, and buried his head and ate like a whirlwind. Soon, the whole table of delicacies was eaten up by the Earth Spirit Pig, and even Lin Su's small portion was taken away by it. The Earth Spirit Pig, who was full of food and wine, sat back on the chair, patted his round belly, and looked very satisfied. "Xiao Tu, you have eaten and drunk, it's time to get down to business. Come, help me see what the black essence in this jade pendant is. The Emperor has no shortage of hungry soldiers." Now that the Earth Spirit Pig has eaten and drunk enough, Lin Su has no psychological burden to order it. "Huh? This thing is..." The Earth Spirit Pig was a little indifferent at first, but after a glance, his face suddenly changed. Shua grabbed the dragon pattern jade pendant in his hand, his little eyes flashed brightly, and his mouth was almost grinning to his ears. "Baby, good baby. This is the dragon pattern jade that can absorb the energy of the underground dragon veins." Underground dragon vein energy? Dragon pattern jade? Lin Su's eyes suddenly lit up. "Xiao Tu, you call this dragon pattern jade? Then this black gas is the energy of the underground dragon vein." "That's right, Big Brother. This is the energy of the underground dragon vein." "Where did you get this treasure?" Tu Lingzi nodded affirmatively, and his little pig's hooves kept stroking the dragon pattern jade pendant. "I got it by accident." Lin Su smiled and briefly described the process of getting the dragon pattern jade pendant. "Big Brother, you really have a deep affinity with the immortals, and such a treasure can be easily obtained." Tu Lingzi looked at Lin Su with admiration. This was not because he was flattering Lin Su. This kind of dragon pattern jade is formed when the underground dragon veins mutate. The probability of its appearance is extremely small, and it takes tens of thousands of years to really take shape. It can be said that there is probably only one piece in the entire cultivation world. Lin Su got such a treasure by revealing the list on a whim. In addition to his deep affinity with the immortals, Tu Lingzi really couldn't think of any other reason. Brother, with this dragon jade, your cultivation may be able to break through the current shackles. It is indeed a very fortunate thing to get the dragon jade, but Lin Su is not too happy. In his opinion, the dragon vein energy is generally only useful to the emperor of the world, but the words of the earth spirit pig made his heart jump. Could it be that this dragon vein energy has any other magical abilities? Xiao Tu, do you think this dragon jade can help me break through? If I am not mistaken, it should be possible. The earth spirit pig scratched his belly and said, this dragon jade can absorb the energy of the underground dragon vein. Brother, you are now a dragon body. I am afraid that you have not been able to break through to the late stage of the nascent soul because you are limited by your physical body. This underground dragon vein energy is the purest pure yang dragon energy. As long as you absorb enough, it will definitely help you break through the shackles of your physical body and turn into a dragon. At that time, your cultivation will be able to break through. It makes sense. Lin Su's eyes lit up. He remembered that when he encountered the fire dragon in the Chaos Star Sea, the other party was trapped at the peak of the middle nascent soul stage. Later, after it transformed into a dragon, its cultivation level broke through to the late nascent soul stage. It was very similar to his current situation. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 250. Yes, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Lin Su is exactly the same as the fire dragon back then. He is also stuck in the body of a dragon, and he is also trapped at the peak of the middle stage of nascent soul, unable to move forward. The difference is that the fire dragon back then I can make a breakthrough with the help of the dragon transformation pill refined from my own blood essence, but I can't do it now. Maybe this is because the saying goes that he who heals others cannot heal himself, right? Thinking of this, Lin Su suddenly felt a little lucky. Fortunately, he did not practice hard and chose to go down the mountain to practice. Fortunately, he came to this flowing light city. Fortunately, he tore up the essay out of curiosity. Otherwise, he would never have been able to do it. After getting this dragon patterned jade pendant, I don't know how long it will take to find a way to break through. Xiao Tu, protect me, I want to absorb the energy of this dragon vein. The dragon vein energy in the dragon pattern jade pendant is extremely rare, and most of it has been transferred to Miss Liu's body. However, Lin Su can't wait to absorb the dragon vein energy in Miss Liu's body. He wants to verify it now. Let's see if the method Tu Lingzi mentioned is useful. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Rise. Following Lin Su's low shout, the dragon-patterned jade pendant slowly floated up and suspended in mid-air. With a flash of silver light, Lin Su transformed into the dragon's body, but shrunk his body to remain more than 1 foot long. Xianxia, a dragon Jew, was activated, and a green light like a thread shot out from Lin Su's mouth and connected to the dragon-patterned jade pendant. Using the green silk thread as a link, the black dragon vein energy in the dragon-patterned jade pendant diffused out bit by bit and was inhaled by Lin Su into his mouth along the green silk thread. However, within half a stick of incense, the dragon vein energy in the dragon-patterned jade pendant was absorbed. Lin Su sucked it all up. As the last trace of dragon vein energy was sucked into Lin Su's mouth, the scales on Lin Su's body began to emit bursts of silver light, and his breath began to swell and contract. After a while, Lin Su's breath stopped fluctuating, and the breath on his body stopped. The silver light also converged, transformed into a human form again, and opened his eyes. "Brother, how are you?" Tu Lingzi came up and asked with concern. "It really works." Lin Su's face flashed with a hint of joy, but at the same time he couldn't help but feel a little regretful. What a pity, there is really too little dragon vein energy in this dragon-patterned jade pendant. The energy of the dragon's veins in the dragon-patterned jade pendant is so powerful that the strength of one finger of Lin Su's dragon claw has been raised from a dragon to the level of a real dragon. If he wants to improve the entire dragon body and completely transform into a real dragon, the amount of dragon vein energy required will be a terrifying amount, not to mention the remaining dragon vein energy in the dragon pattern jade pendant. Even if all the dragon vein energy in Miss Liu's body is sucked out, at most it will only allow a few more fingers increase strength. Brother, of course the dragon's energy is contained in the dragon's veins. We can find a strong dragon's vein, which will naturally speed up the dragon's jade pendant's absorption of the dragon's energy, Tu Lingzhu suggested. Yes. Lin Su's eyes lit up. Wasn't the energy of dragon veins produced in dragon veins? As long as you can find the place where the dragon vein energy is strongest, the speed at which the dragon pattern jade pendant absorbs the dragon vein energy will naturally be greatly increased. There are big and small dragon veins. The small ones are only tens of miles long, while the big ones can stretch for thousands of miles. The more powerful the dragon vein is, the more dragon vein energy it contains. Generally speaking, the establishment of secular imperial power is dependent on the dragon vein. If you do not occupy the dragon vein, you will not be protected by heaven and earth, and the political power will not last long. Therefore, whether it is a dynasty, an imperial dynasty, or the most powerful saint comparable to the immortal sect, every court occupies a dragon vein, and its capital is often built at the head of the dragon vein. The dragon-patterned jade pendant that Lin Su got from Miss Lu can absorb the energy of the dragon vein, which shows that the flowing light city is built on a dragon vein, but this dragon vein is too weak. The weak dynasty cannot meet the standards and cannot even be seen, so after so many years, it has only accumulated a small group of dragon vein energy. However, precisely because this dragon vein buried deep in the ground is extremely weak, the amount that the dragon pattern jade pendant can absorb is limited. This is why Miss Lu did not explode and die. This is Miss Liu's luck. But, I'm not good at finding dragon veins. Not long after he was happy, Lin Su became worried again. A very practical question was placed in front of him. Where to find powerful dragon veins? The world of cultivating immortals is so big. There are probably hundreds of large and small dynasties, imperial dynasties, and holy courts in total. Each of them naturally occupies a dragon vein, but these dragon veins are the foundation of the country. Lin Su cannot do it for himself. Otherwise, once the dragon vein energy is exhausted, the dragon vein will be severed and become a death vein, leading to the destruction of the country, which will definitely cause the killing of millions. In addition to these known dragon veins, there are naturally unknown dragon veins, but most of them are hidden in famous mountains and rivers. If you have to find them one by one, you still won't be able to find them in the year of the monkey. Moreover, finding dragon veins is a feng shui technique, which is different from formations. Lin Su has no research in this area. It is really difficult to find an ownerless dragon vein that contains enough dragon vein energy. Brother, you can go to Tianji sect for help. Seeing Lin Su's frowning expression, Tu Lingzhu scratched his head and thought for a long time, then suddenly suggested, Brother, didn't you say that each of the 5 immortal sects has its own director? What Tianji sect is best at is feng shui formations and mechanism techniques. When it comes to finding dragon veins, no one is better than the people from Tianji sect, right? Rightward arrow. Yes. Why didn't I think of that? Lin Su's eyes lit up, and his frown suddenly relaxed. He looked at Tu Lingzhu with some surprise and praised, Little Tu, I didn't expect that your little head can turn quite fast. Not bad. Smart and promising. After receiving Lin Su's praise, the earthling pig's eyes narrowed with joy, and he raised his head proudly and hummed, That's right. I am a unique divine beast in the world, so this is a trivial matter. Hey. This guy said he was fat but he still had asthma. Lin Su looked at the earthly pig with a stinky face, shook his head in amusement, sent it into the spiritual field space with a thought, turned over and lay on the bed, already made a decision in his heart, waiting for it. After extracting the dragon vein chi from Miss Liu's body and setting up the small 5 elements yin-yang rotation array in her body, she set off to Tianji Gate to find the Tianji ancestor for help in finding the dragon vein. His previous words seemed to make Miss Liu a little embarrassed, and she had to give Lu Yuanwei some time to persuade her. However, in Lin Su's opinion, it had just happened in the past few days, and the Lu family's father and daughter must be more aware of this matter than himself. If you are anxious, just settle down and relax. After making up his mind, Lin Su relaxed wholeheartedly and soon fell asleep. Lin Su slept until the next morning when he woke up. He felt refreshed and in a much better mood. At Lin Su's level, eating and sleeping are no longer necessary, but it still feels special to do it occasionally. "Mr. Lin, are you up? My master has invited me." Not long after Lin Su got up, there was a knock on the door from butler Lu. It seems that the Lu family and his daughter are really in a hurry. They can't bear it anymore after only one day. "It's okay, if we solve it as soon as possible, I can also leave early and go to Tianjin." After tidying up his clothes, Lin Su opened the door. Butler Lu, who was already waiting aside, quickly saluted Lin Su with a smile on his face and said, "Hello, Mr. Lin, my master and eldest lady are waiting for you in the inner courtyard. Please come with me." Previously, Butler Lu regarded Lin Su as a swindler and was very dissatisfied with Lin Su. However, as Lu Yuanwei's confidant, after listening to Lu Yuanwei's talk about Lin Su's extraordinary qualities, he now did not dare to show any disrespect to Lin Su. "Yeah. Let's go," Lin Su nodded calmly, followed Butler Lu to the inner house in the backyard, and stopped in front of a door. "Mr. Lin, the master, and the eldest lady are inside, please come, this is Lu Suxin's boudoir." Lu Yuan can enter from outside, and Lin Su can enter if invited, but he, Butler Lu, does not dare to break in casually. Lin Su nodded slightly, said nothing, and walked into the room. Lu Suxin's boudoir was divided into 2 rooms, the inner and the outer. Lu Suxin was in the inner room at the moment, while Lu Yuanwei was sitting at the tea table in the outer room. When he saw Lin Su come in, he stood up and cupped his hands towards Lin Su and said, "Lin Sir, I have convinced my daughter that she has agreed to let Mr. Lin remove the curse from her body. My daughter is in the inner room now, would you like Mr. Lin to start now?" "Of course. The sooner the curse is removed, the better," Lin Su nodded, "then I will go in and remove the curse for the eldest lady." When he reached the door of the inner room, Lin Su paused again, turned to look at Lu Yuanwei and said, "Lu Yuanwei, it is extremely dangerous to remove the magic spell, and you cannot be disturbed by the outside world at all, so no matter what noise comes from inside, I don't want to see anyone break in, otherwise I won't be responsible for anything that happens to Miss Lu." The energy of the dragon vein has been entrenched in Lu Suxin's body for many years. Now if he wants to extract it all at once, Lin Su doesn't know what will happen. Moreover, he will also set up a small 5-element yin-yang rotation array in his body later. "Lin Su, I don't want to be disturbed and create complications, so I need to explain some things to you and Lu in advance." "Well, Mr. Lin, my little girl won't be in any danger, right?" Lu Yuanwei couldn't help but feel a little nervous when he heard what Lin Su said. "As long as no one disturbs you, I guarantee that nothing will happen to the lady," Lin Su affirmed. "Well, I believe in Mr. Lin." After hesitating for a while, Lin Yuwei gritted his teeth and nodded, shouting outside, "Lu Ming, guard the door for me. Without my order, no matter what sound you hear, no one is allowed to enter the house." "Yes, sir." Hearing Butler Liu's response, Lin Su nodded with satisfaction, pushed open the door to the inner room and walked in. At the same time, he gently waved his hand to bring up a strong wind and closed the door again. Thank you to book friend Xianxia Dowdy for voting for 2 monthly votes.